Good evening, YouTubers. It is I, the Infernoble Knight of YouTube, bringing you an actual Infernoble Knight deck profile. First place at my locals. This isn't your traditional Infernoble Knight deck, because it's just a hybrid of just a bunch of good engines thrown together. But let's get into it. First engine, Mikankos. So you've got the 3 Ohim, the Hare, Nini. It's gonna be tough to try to explain to get you guys to understand, but if you've played with Mikanko for a bit, you know how good that can actually really be and surprise someone. All of them cannot be destroyed by battle. And also your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving these monsters. Ohim says once per turn you can reveal this card. Search your deck for a Mikanko card, add to hand, discard 1 card. Cool. While it's on the board, quick effect, target any monster on the board, equip it with an equip spell appropriately. Hare cannot be destroyed by battle. The opponent takes battle damage. If this card is equipped with an equip card, you add 1 Mikanko equip spell from your deck to your hand. And Nini, same thing, cannot be destroyed by battle. Opponent takes battle damage. During your opponent's turn, while this card is equipped with an equip card, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and change of heart it. Take it to your side until the end of the turn. And the fact that Hare is a fire warrior helps with the consistency of this deck a little bit. Of course, the best normal summon in Infernobles, at least until we get the new stuff. Connector, Aqua Dolphin. Connector on summon. Summon Aqua Dolphin from deck. Aqua Dolphin, discard a card, look at the opponent's hand, and attempt to rip a card and burn them for 5. So it's a good way to play around hand traps. Or force hand traps, and then you proceed to extend. Ogair, you should know what he does. Whenever it's summoned, you Foolish Burial a fire warrior or an equip spell, and it can attach itself from graveyard to a warrior. Roland, discard a fire warrior or an equip spell and summon it as a level 1. And then equip to a warrior from grave. I've yet to do it with this build, equipping, because you always seem to have a really good board, regardless. And not enough space to equip them, sometimes. 2, Renaud. Special, if you control a fire warrior, it then becomes a tuner. When it's special, you can get a fire warrior or an equip spell that is either your graveyard or banish, add it to your hand. Go over here. The 1 Fire Flint, you have ways to search it. It's a once per turn free summon effect. The second effect doesn't really come up, but it could, sometimes. You can send this card from your field to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 4 lower warrior monster from your hand, and if you do, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. I mean, it seems really good, it's just it's too situational for me. And he actually uses it. Gearfried, honorary Infernoble Knight card. Monster negate at the cost of an equip spell. When it attacks, it absorbs an opponent's monster face up as an equip spell. Non-targeting. Third engine, because we went through Infernobles. Third engine, Pendulums. Ignite Cavalier, Ignis Phoenix, and Majesty Pegasus. You want to search Cavalier with Isolde, because you can still use its scale effect, because that is not a monster effect. Ignis Phoenix, whenever you search it with your other extra deck monster, we play Beyond the Pendulum. Use Cavalier to pop Ignis to search for a fire warrior, and then Ignis is going to activate to summon Majesty Pegasus. Summon it from deck. Majesty Pegasus will then be treated as a tuner, and then she'll activate to search for any field card from our deck to our hand. I never used Pegasus scale effect, but maybe it could come up one day, you never know. Dark Ruler, Chalice, because we cannot play under a Rise Heart. Macro on legs hurts. They're kind of graveyard reliant. Prep, because we search our only, it's quote unquote 6 copies of Ohim, of our ritual. Pot of Prosperity. You're thinking, man, for a combo deck, you want to banish cards from your extra deck? Yeah, the answer is yes. We actually have a bunch of flex spots. That can be good if we need them, but if we don't need them, then cool. We'll just send it with Prosperity. Consistency cards. Heritage. Durandal. Both of them are Rhodas. Because hand traps suck. Triple T. More Mikanko stuff. If you're not familiar with this one, this lets you summon a Mikanko monster from hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, so this is how you get the ritual out. And it has a Foolish Burial that you can activate that same turn to banish this spell from your grave to Foolish Burial a Mikanko card. Monster Reborn, or special a Mikanko from your hand. Snatch Steal. You can also do this during your opponent's turn with the ritual, because the effect to put a equip spell on any monster on board is a quick effect. Also, Monster Reborn. You bring back a monster from grave while this card is in the grave, and you equipped it to that monster. And then this helps you get around Floodgates, because when that card battles, this will do its thing, where you can spin one card on board back to the hand. Arabesque. This card will summon a Mikanko from hand or deck. What it does is you equipped it to anything on board, monster-wise, activates the effect to summon from hand or deck, and then once you do, it becomes equipped with Arabesque, while also bouncing the monster that was previously equipped with Arabesque. So it's a very good going second card. Same with Rondo. But they're easily searchable, and you don't want to break on these. Our field card of choice, Secret Village. Because we have Pegasus as a spellcaster if you want to leave her on board. But our main target for leaving on board is Nini, a card that cannot be destroyed by battle. And all the Mikanko equip cards say that they cannot be destroyed by card effects. And you should have 2 monsters on board, if your turn goes well. That the ritual is Snatch Steal, Nini is Change of Heart. So you have a pretty impressive board. Call by, because hand traps suck. One more Rhoda. Last equip is Phoenix. You don't abuse this as much as other Infernoble usually do. Usually just bring it back to your hand once. You might discard it off Ohim whenever you search with it, or you might discard off of Majesty Pegasus whenever you search for your equip spell. But that is it for the main deck. Hover over here so you guys can take a look at it. Pause it. And then we'll go into the extra. 2 Isolde. Searches warrior added to hand. Can't use that monster effect for the rest of the turn. Cool, we'll search our Pendulum. We can use its scale effect. And then you mill and summon a warrior from your deck equal to the amount of equipped spells that you mill. Usually you want to go into Ignis Phoenix. So then you go into Beyond. Beyond, whenever it's played, you pay 12, search your deck for a Pendulum monster added to your hand, and And you cannot use the effects, or you cannot activate spells, traps, or monster effects until you Pendulum summon. You can still use the effects of spells. But with her, you want to search the second copy of Ignis. So that way, the Soul searches the vanilla, that searches that. And then with the Soul, you summon the other one. That way you have a pin summon for one. IP Masquerade. This is a good going first summon. If you know that your opponent has the answer in hand to one spellcaster, you can make IP, and then whenever they do, get rid of Nini. If that's your only spellcaster on board, you can IP to go into a second spellcaster from the extra. 2 effect monsters make this card, and it's a warrior, so it helps you get through, what's it called? Ibli, yeah. Here is our target for the second spellcaster, in case our spellcaster on board gets outed. And it's a good thing to take your monster's dark monster out of their grave and put it on your side of the board. Nightmare Unicorn. You don't... There's a flea. My bad. Because this deck's a rat bastard. Nightmare Unicorn. You never really make it, but there are situations where you could make it. You know, it's better to need it, or better to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. Appaloosa. You can make this every game. So, if you do the Assault combo, bring out the Ignis. So bring out the Ignis after searching for vanilla. Go into Beyond, search the other Pendulum, do your scale, Pendulum summon, and then you activate the vanilla to pop itself and Ignis to search for a Fire Warrior. You do that, Ignis is going to trigger, bringing out that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Your 3-piece Appaloosa before you go into any further plays. Abomination. I've been trying this card out for a bit. Was suggested to me by Infernoble Knight Gianfranco YouTube channel. You should definitely check it out. He is definitely the go-to for Infernoble goodness. But yeah, if a card on board is destroyed, you just destroy a card on board. And then at the, the end phase of the turn? Yeah, during the end phase, just target one card on the board and pop it. Good versus Xyz decks, in case they try to run over your little guys and destroy them, thinking they can go into suit. You're like, nah, dude. You destroyed my monster, so this is going to destroy one of your monsters. Access code. You know what access code does. He's pretty good. Our inboard usually ends on Herald and Savage, just to protect your board from evenly. That's pretty much it. Herald, when it dies, you can search Ohim. Roland, Charles. You don't make these as much as you want to. It's definitely one of our flex spots, along with like Unicorn, the Swordsman, you know, in case you want to banish stuff with Prosperity. I'll show the last one. Yeah, that's another flex spot. But like, there were some games where I could go into Charles, but it was more win more. And Babushka, I don't like the Babushka in here. There weren't any games. I've been playing this deck for almost a month now, and I have never made this card. My opinion, I want to try out Red Scarlet Dragon Archfiend. That way, you can burn your opponent whenever you go into time. Because this deck combos for a while, like maybe 20 minutes. I mean, you can practice to get yourself to play faster, but it's always like, my opponent, do you have a response? Do you have a response for me, from me, my opponent? Like every play. I mean, you can kind of get a reading of when they don't have the answer, but it's better to ask. But yeah, that's the deck. I've been having fun with this, but yeah, definitely go subscribe to Infernoble Knight Gianfranco. He is, like I said, he is the go-to, in my opinion, for Infernoble Knight decks. And he's actually topped with a similar version of this deck. Albeit he was using another engine with it as well. But, that is good on him. Proud of him. But yeah, you all have a wonderful time. And as always, if you cannot be noble, be ignoble.